Going to fall upon these groups that refuse to herald his truth.
Amen, Cody. And then, of course, we see in Seventh-day Adventism the veneration of Bert Beverly Beach, who was the ecumenical juggernaut within Adventism for decades, bringing Seventh-day Adventism into ecumenical harmony with the papacy and apostate Protestants. And now, at the General Conference, we have another man, Gwenoon Diop, who is following in the ecumenical footsteps of B.B. Beach in bringing Seventh-day Adventists into total communion with the ecumenical churches. This is a blindness, this is a disease that is going to destroy millions of Seventh-day Adventists. And the first plague in Revelation 16:2 it's screaming. It is screaming at us today. Have nothing to do with ecumenism, because the ecumenical movement is going to suffer the first plague. And
that would include individuals like Gwenoon Diop. Bert Beach obviously has passed away. But those who are a part of this ecumenical movement, doesn't matter whether they call themselves Seventh-day Adventists or not, if they're doing the opposite of the three angels' messages and doing instead this anti-three angels messages, which is the ecumenical movement, then the noisome and grievous sores are going to fall upon them.
Absolutely.
And also, one thing I've noticed here too is that the very first plague is a very individualized plague. It soars upon people. That's a very personal plague. It's not like, the sun is heating up and everything like that, where
right.
you could try to avoid it or something like that. This is going to happen to each and every individual who has received the mark of the beast or them that have worshipped his image. So it makes you think, why? And I thought about this for some time, and I thought, well, if you go back to the plagues that were in Egypt, the plagues in Egypt targeted gods. And so the first god to be dealt with in these 7 last plagues is self on the throne. And that's where all of this has been. This is the whole ecumenical movement, the things you've been discussing. People that are involved in this are telling God, I know better than you. I'm going to do it this way. It's the presumptive heart that says, well, I don't really care what God's will is, even if they understand it, even if they know it, or if it's their privilege to know it, like Gwenoon Diop. But I think I have a better way. I have a better idea, and you'll still accept me. That type of mindset is self. Self is God, not God. Self is God. So self will be dealt with first, with the noisome and grievous sores.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Wow. This is just really, it's very heartbreaking.
Yes.
Because we're looking at multitudes of people, we're looking at religious people that are claiming to be connected to heaven, and they couldn't be further away from heaven. And this first plague is a warning to
Dr. Diop is our director at the General Conference for PARL, what we call Religious Liberty, and he interfaces with the United Nations on behalf of the church and other similar organizations. This afternoon, he will be teaching us again about the mission as we seek to reflect Christ, reflect hope, our general theme that we'll be pushing for the next couple of years to ensure that we're very relevant to our society and to reignite the flame of evangelism in the British Union Conference. I'm happy to present to you Dr. Diop. We only have an hour for this, so we just need to be hitting the road, as we say, very, very quickly. So, Doc, it's all up to you.
Thank you very much, and welcome back this afternoon. Wanting to know if the PowerPoint is working.